Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Paths podcast. This is episode 2. I'm your co host, Joseph.
I'm your co-host John, and today we're going to be talking about how I found my passion and what I want to do in life, and how Joseph is currently working on finding his.
Yeah, and like the first thing that comes to my head when I think about passions is how when I try to talk to people about finding my passion, and like I talk to people, it's like, I don't know what I want to do and stuff like that. The first thing that everyone says, everyone is, well, what are you interested in? And the first, like, I think a lot of people can relate to this is like the first place my mind goes is like, I'm not interested in anything like in the working field. Like, I feel like I can't think of anything specifically. Like, I'm a marketing major, but I feel like I can't think of anything specifically that I'm interested in. And then they're like, well, what do you like doing? And then like, there's just like, well, I like sleeping, eating, and playing video games. Like nothing comes to mind. Like I don't like doing nothing that has to do with work. Like and like I feel like a lot of people are like that. Like they can't think about like I like doing taxes. I like doing math. Like I don't know how people have done that like from such a young age like to where they carried on like for their whole lives. So like I feel like when they ask me like what do you like doing? I can't think of anything. And it's like I don't know. Then they can't then they can't help me anymore because they really don't know what I want, like what I'm interested, in, what I want to do. Like they can't help me with anything. So then it's like, well, what major are you in? Oh, I'm in marketing. They try to help me with marketing, and it's like I really don't want to do that. And like my mom's talking to me about doing internships, like getting into good companies and stuff. But my mind is in a completely different place. Like I don't want to do internships and get into like all these. I don't know. I told her I was like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. And I'm like, I don't like, I'm sorry, no offense to anybody that does, like, but it's like, I just feel like it's not really secure, even though it's like a security, like a secure job, you know? So, but like, how did you like end up going through that, like finding your passion, like really knowing what you want to do?
Um, Before we jump right into it, because while you were talking, I just like I remember something that I saw on TikTok where I was like, "Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, this is so true." This girl said, "I feel like we all plan our lives in becoming like celebrities and rich and famous, where we don't have to work." And that's so true. Like that's such a
Mm-hmm.
like Gen Z thing. Cause I think we're part of Gen Z. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
like
we are.
people our age, like
I don't know about
it's
you.
such a oh my god. I'm not that
Okay,
old.
continue.
Okay. Um we I feel like I remember like basing my future off being a celebrity. Like I was already like planning when I become an adult, like I'm gonna be famous and like have a bunch of money, so I'm not gonna have to work. And like I'm
Then life hits you.
slowly right, and I'm slowly already like yeah, I have to work now, but I still live with my parents, so it's like it's not like
You have
real
live.
like adulthood, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm like getting closer and closer to like real adulthood, and it's like scary how like I'm not rich and famous yet, that like that realization just like clicks
Yeah.
like like, oh, I actually have to work the rest of my life. I mean, have you ever felt like that, like where you just like you already think like,
No, yeah,
oh,
definitely. 100%. And we kind of talked about it a little bit last episode where like, we always have that thing in our head, like, I'm gonna be I'm gonna make a lot of money, I'm gonna do this, like I'm gonna be this famous person and but then like we're here, like we're at that age that we were dreaming about, but like
yeah,
now we're realizing, oh, I gotta work or I really gotta well, in my head, I'm like, I really gotta try to achieve those things. Like, I feel like back then, like you said last episode, is like it was more like thinking of it and hoping it would happen, right? But
right.
now it's like really like you have to put the work in. Like you really gotta go put your feet in the dirt and go try to do it. But yeah, like I always thought that, and I still do think that. I still think like a kid. I feel like so. Like I feel
No,
like I could still. Yeah, you do too. I know you do.
yeah, 100%. When we were little, I don't know if you thought the same way, but I would be like walking around the grocery store, walking around the mall without doing nothing. I would think that somebody would recognize me and be like, "Oh my God, this kid's meant to be famous." Like, and I would just, but that's just, I feel like watching a lot of TV shows and like the people we grew up with and the movies maybe that we watched growing up with. But I mean, now like as we're growing up, it's definitely like something that we realize like, oh, we actually have to put in work. Because I mean, some people are lucky where their parents put in that work when they're young, you know? Some people aren't as
Yeah.
fortunate when, you know,
Yeah.
you know,
That's like how my mom put me into modeling and I was just doing that and it was just like a normal thing for me. And I could have, if I would have kept going with it, I probably could have, because I was doing really well. But then I was just like, it was just annoying going to New York so much. I was like, I don't want to do it. I want to go to school. And I was like, that probably one of my biggest regrets. Like, if I met like my 12-year-old self, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Why would you? But like, yeah, for real. Like, it could be the parents that put the work in, and then like we just, without knowing, just carry that on, and just like we
yeah, I
get
mean,
big. Like,
think about how many child stars have come from that, you know, just parents
yeah,
putting their kids in to acting, singing, and then now we know like these huge celebrities. I mean, Demi Lovato, you know.
yeah, but they all got problems. You notice that?
Yeah, that's
Justin
true.
Bieber, you want to live a normal life, and that's like I kind of felt like that. I wasn't no big celebrity or anything, but I felt like I just wanted to live a normal thing because like you feel different in that situation compared to like your regular classmates who are just going to school and going home and doing their work. I don't want to speak like I'm anything whatever I was anything, but like I was just felt different because I was going to New York. Like I was leaving school early every day
You were
to go to
working instead
auditions.
of being a child, basically.
Yeah, and that's why like it's scary being a child like star even to think about it. Like you heard Justin Bieber's song Lonely.
Yeah,
Exactly, and that's like how it is.
I love that song, but I
But
understand what
you
you're
know the
saying
message
because
to it.
yeah, I mean these child stars, and not to say that every child star ends up having problems, but you know they do go through something because they weren't able
It's
to live
hard.
a normal childhood. You know, their childhood was presented in front of the world. But anyway, getting back on
Back to
topic,
your passion.
back to my passion. I have always, and I touched a little bit on this on the
Oh
last
yeah.
podcast of how like my passion is music and content creating and just making, you know, entertainment. Like I love content creating. And after I graduated high school, I slowly started drifting away from that because I wasn't going to college and I wasn't really following my passion. I was working, you know, and I started working in insurance. And I would definitely say that insurance now could be considered one of my passions. I like my job and I like what I do. I definitely see myself in the long run in insurance career wise. So I don't know, but music and content creating has always been my passion. In these past few months, I've been, you know, self-analyzing myself and not wanting to look back in the past with regret because I feel like that can bring on too many like emotional stress, distress, and you know, it's never good to
Yeah.
look back in the past. You know, it's always better to look what's ahead and what you can do now and into the future.
What you can't control.
Exactly. And so that's where I started analyzing like I need a hobby and I kind of gave up on my passion, you know, because I did. And that's where I made my YouTube channel and I posted a video and it was like editing was super fun. And now we're doing the podcast. And, you know, I've been working a lot more on my music and TikTok. I know it's silly, but TikTok, like, it's just fun, like making these videos. Like, I don't care if only 100 people see them, like, you know,
Yeah, no,
like
I
it's
feel the
just
same way.
fun. And so hopefully I start slowly getting back into my passion, but kind of living in both worlds, I guess I could say. For you, I know for
Yeah.
you, it's kind of like you're still, you know, you want to content create, right? But you're like trying to figure
Hmm.
out where to start.
Yeah. Like thinking about what I really want to create and how I want to I don't want to say portray myself because I'm not acting any different than I normally would. Just like deciding what to put out there. You don't know. Sometimes you're like iffy about a video, putting it out there and just doing it. I don't want to be like Nike. Like I don't want to use their slogan, but like I
But
guess
it's
just do
true.
it. it is very true. And something I heard from Gary V. I don't know if you know Gary V, but
No.
do you know Gary V? What? He came from the bottom basically, and then now he's like pretty big, and he gives like really good advice about like just doing it and like like just living life like without expectations. And like that's how I live now. It's just like don't have any expectations, just do what you want to do, because those expectations is what's holding you back. You're just like, if you have expectations, you're just basically planning to be disappointed. You know what I
Oh my
mean?
God, yeah.
Because let's say you're talking about making a YouTube just like us, right? And you come in like, I'm gonna make these videos, I'm gonna get a lot of like, I'm gonna build like straight off like crazy, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna build, I'm gonna grow, and I'll go from there. But then your first 20, 50 videos, they don't do that well, and now you're just like disappointed and just like depressed because, oh, my videos aren't doing that well. But like just do it, like don't have those expectations. And like if you just keep continuing and just putting the work in without thinking about like the numbers, I just feel like it'll be way better. And like for me, that's like a big thing, because that's how like you start out with content creating, is just like putting content out there, finding that ideology of like just having no expectations is helping me the most, because I've kind of knew that I wanted to do content creating a while ago, maybe like a few years ago. And I used to do it like with my friend, and we used to just like put stuff out, and we used to be like, yo, we're going to be so big. And we had these expectations. I'm realizing that right now. I didn't realize that before, coming from this new ideology that I've gotten, this new way of thinking. We used to have huge expectations. We used to be like, we're going to go crazy. Like these videos are really good, but like then those numbers, they're not great, and then we just gave up.
I mean, in one sense, I agree that we shouldn't put that pressure of like, if this video doesn't look good, then I'm not gonna do it. But at the same time,
Hmm.
I think we should have certain not expectations, but like things we hope for. Oh, I hope I can
Like
get to a
goals,
million
right?
followers. Yeah, goals and setting those
Yeah,
goals.
goals are,
A hundred
you want to
percent.
chase those goals,
Right.
but you don't want to
Not
allow expectations, because like expectations I feel like comes with like a time
right.
frame. You expect it
Uh-huh.
by this date, right? But I feel like goals is like, I want to reach there eventually.
So
There's like,
yeah,
that's
I
like the
agree with that.
difference there. Yeah, but like me and my friend, we were like, we're gonna make it by, this is the year, you know? And then the year goes and it's just like, what happened, you know? And then we're just like, damn, like that year sucked. But now with my YouTube channel now and this, like I just wanna just do it. Just have fun. Like enjoy the journey. Don't just worry about the end results. Cause I love the process that it takes to create a video, like the recording, the editing, and all that. The goal, my goal then is just like to put out the video. That's the
Mhm.
goal, like for the day, or that's the expectation, I guess. If you want to have it. No, I would say goal, because I don't want to use the word expectation. Goal is
Yeah.
like the good thing. The goal for right now is like to put these videos out with passions or 9 to 5s. I guess the goal is, I don't know, what would you say, like in your job?
My goal is always career advancement and not being stuck in the same place, which I feel like the
Mhm.
majority of people who do end up working 9 to 5s, um, just they feel they get comfortable, and that's okay. Some
Yeah.
people are meant to get comfortable and just they like working 9 to 5. But for me, I want to continue to grow, and it's time, it's patience, and eventually it'll happen. Um, but I definitely agree with everything that you said about expectations, because my YouTube channel that I started, I posted the first video this year in January, right? January 2021. That channel was created in like 2017.
Mhm.
Me in high
Yeah.
school planning I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. And I had so many ideas, like I'm gonna film in school. You know how like cool that would have been, like my experience in school, because we talked about it last episode,
Yeah.
how I
Like a
was kind of
vlog
like,
and
right, and I was kind of like involved everywhere. So I would have gotten like so many different friend groups and personalities. I feel like that would have been maybe so good. I didn't do it. I didn't do it, and I can't go back and do it now. But what I can do is like actually dedicate myself to my channel, and just put the
yeah.
effort and not expect like I'm gonna get 1,000 views on the first video. I'm just gonna do it for
Yeah.
fun. And it's the same thing with TikTok, like you said. Sometimes in the beginning when I started TikTok, I was like, oh my god, it's just gonna get views, it's just gonna get likes. delete it, and I don't wouldn't want to post it. And
Exactly.
I've gotten to the point where it's just like I don't care anymore. I like this TikTok. I like it, so I'm gonna make it. And those are usually the ones that end up doing a little bit better. Except when you think that they're gonna do really good, then they don't do really good. But when you think that they're not, you're like, oh, I just like this, so I'm gonna put it out. And then they're like, oh my god, those are my best ones. But whatever.
It's
Like,
always more fulfilling when you don't expect a lot. It's very fulfilling when you have fun making it and it does well.
yeah.
That's like super fulfilling.
Oh
Like,
my god.
and what we were talking about before, in terms of what we expect, I feel like there's like that one side that you were talking about where you have the people that are really comfortable, they don't want to do anything. But then you also have the people that are saying that having these crazy expectations and they're focusing on like 5, 10 different opportunities or like future possibilities. It kind of gets like overwhelming and like messes with you. Like you don't know what to focus on when you have all these goals. You have too many, like you should just have one. And I also seen a TikTok, I'll probably play it, of a guy explaining exactly that. I'll just play it.
Every man has two lives, and the second starts when he realizes he has just one. Wow. It's like a happy person wants 10,000 things. A sick person just wants one thing. Right? So it's your unlimited desires that are clouding your peace, your happiness. Have desire, just don't focus on more than one desire at a time. The universe is rigged in such a way that if you just want one thing and you focus on that, you'll get it. But everything else, you gotta let go. Did you make
What do you think about that? I want to get your pick your brain first about that.
Well, I completely agree to the sense where we are clouded by the ideas of wanting everything, and it's 100% true. I mean, you when you get something, you're like, oh, but I don't have this, I don't have that, and I think
Mm,
that's what he's talking about because I do think that it's important not to just give yourself one goal. If you just give yourself one thing to do, I feel like you're gonna be so like trapped in that one thing that you're not going to want to see anything else. Giving yourself a good, like a few goals, not like exaggerating to where you want everything, but a few goals that you want to do. And when you reach, I feel like what he was trying to say was when you reach that thing you did, that one thing you did, enjoy it and be happy about it. Don't focus on everything you haven't done yet because that's the first thing our brain goes to is, oh, I did this, but I still have all of this to do. Well, yeah, you still have all of that to do, but enjoy the goal you just accomplished. And the whole thing about having two lives, I never thought about it like that. But I think to an extent, it's true. I don't want to say you only live once or
you
whatever.
don't like the two lives thing? Okay.
I don't like the you only live once thing because I feel like that can make people do crazy things and act irrational because like, oh, I'm only gonna live once.
Yeah,
I think it's just changing yourself to a new personality as you grow and that's your second life, and just leaving behind the past.
I agree with that. The YOLO mentality is very one dimensional. So where like
Mhm.
it's encouraging, but it's encouraging in a negative way to do negative things. Like I only live
Yeah,
once, so I'm gonna do some crazy stuff. Like, I definitely agree where I didn't think about it where the second life is when we realize there's so much more to life and like just growing your mindset and growing your personality, growing that way. I feel like a lot of growth happens when you have small goals, not these like reach for the stars. That's my ultimate goal.
Mhm.
Much like what I said before about every day, like you might have a little goal of like if you're content creating, I want to edit this video today, or I want to post this video today. And like that's kind of like your little goal every day. And I feel like that's how people grow also, even out of passions, out of jobs, just growing every day. It's just like, I want to eat 3 meals today. I want to have this certain amount of calories. I want to work out today. Like little goals like that helps you. Like, I just feel like it pushes you to just get stuff done more than just like reaching for the stars. Like, you do have those reach for the stars goals, but that's like past the little ones, like that you do the little ones to get to those. Like people don't think of the little ones as to be that important.
I
You know
got
what I
yes.
mean?
Yeah, it's like a race, and it's like a race. And the first thing that just popped in my head right now was Mario Kart. Maybe because we were talking about Mario Kart like long
Yeah,
ago.
we were talking about Mario Kart.
But think about Mario Kart. Like you start off the race. Sometimes like if you do like the good buttons in the beginning, you start with that little boost. If not, you start with that little like, and you just like get left behind.
you you like you like like to the little, yeah.
And that's life, right? Some people get boosts, some people get setbacks, and that's
Oh
okay.
my God, John.
You
Yeah,
continue to
go
drive.
continue.
You can you continue to drive because life really is a race. Like life is a race, and you have to go through these laps, and you collect things on the way, right? Like you collect a little thing, you collect the shell, you collect some coins. It helps you speed up. Sometimes you speed up. Sometimes you get hit by a red shell and you were in second place and now you're in eighth. Or
Yes,
sometimes you're in
John.
first place and you get hit by a blue shell and now you're in last, but that's okay. You still have to continue and finish the race.
You get a
You know?
rocket in last place.
Yeah, and then you
if
get a
if
rocket.
exactly.
And
If you
that's
chase the
that's
item, you might get a rocket in last place, man.
exactly.
Don't
I mean,
just
if
give
you
up and quit.
exactly, if you don't go after the coins, if you don't go after the little item boxes, then you're gonna end up last. But you have to set up yourself those goals. You have to try and get them. And eventually, maybe you're not gonna end up in first place, but you'll end up, farther than you would have if you just
If you would have like
drove the
quit.
race normally, yeah, and just
If you
quit
would
since
just
the
rage
beginning when you
quit.
got that. Yeah,
If you
when
would
you
have
got
just
that,
rage quit the game.
you're like, I'm not gonna play anymore. I got that in the beginning. Like, right? Like,
Yes.
I know
Yes,
it's a
bro.
silly comparison, but it's
No,
true.
that is perfect. I like that. I thought about it, and when you started, and it was so perfect. Like, no, that is a perfect example of what we were talking about. Definitely. Like, there's like the little goals that you have. I want to get the boost in the beginning. I want to get this item. I want to,
Get the
and then like just getting
coins.
to the end goal. Like, that's the ultimate goal, is to get to the end, the finish line.
It's a
Bro,
race. Life is a
yes.
race.
Yes, John.
Finger snaps.
Can we just snap for? Can we get yeah, some bro
Thank
facts?
you. So wise using Mario Kart.
No, yeah, that was perfect. I think it was meant for me to play Mario Kart today, just so we could talk about that.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think also embarrassment holds a lot of people back. Embarrassment of what it is, or embarrassment to fail,
Yeah, just the
holds a lot of people
expectations,
back.
like you know,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
again with the expectations thing, like I'm gonna get first this race. I'm gonna get first this race, and then they don't, and it's just like let's say they get second, and like oh man, but like you got to celebrate your successes. You still
You got
oh man.
second.
You got to celebrate your successes. Like, look on the positive side. The glass is half full, you know? But like, people don't celebrate the little things. People don't look about what they did do, like what they did succeed at. And I have trouble with that too. Dang, I only worked out for 20 minutes today, right? Like, dang, I wish I could have got a longer workout. But you still worked out. You still worked out for 20 minutes. Like, we gotta get that mentality back. Like the glass is half full mentality. People have the glass half empty all the time. Like that's how people think.
Human instinct and the first thing like we do as humans is acknowledge our imperfections, right? And that's what holds us back a lot of the times. Like I was just talking to you about getting 100 followers on TikTok, and I'm like, oh my god, I got 100 followers on TikTok. Where I could be like, "Ah, I only have 100 followers on TikTok, but I got 100 followers. 100 people wanted to follow me, so it's looking at it that way, and instead of regretting, if you regret things and you look back and you try and find the negative, you're just gonna bother yourself even more, and you're gonna stop doing what you want to do. That's just the truth, you know. Focus on the good things. Focus on what you were able to accomplish, no matter how small, and you'll become happier, and you'll want to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's like self-encouragement. Like self-care is probably the most important thing in life. And like I really mean that. Like you have to come first, and like your mindset is like a big thing in that. Like your mindset can cause you to do a lot of different things. Your mindset could cause you, can make you work out, can make you like motivate you. And like there's a big difference between motivation and like encouragement. Oh wait, is that the word that I was thinking of? There's a big difference between motivation, because you could be motivated for like 2 hours. You get like
True.
that burst of energy at like 3 in the morning, like I want to fix my life right now. But then if you have that constant like encouragement in your head, that constant like I want to be better the next day, I want to be better at this the next day, I want to do this tomorrow, like just bettering yourself, like that's where the constant growth like stems from. Yeah, because I have that too, like a lot, like the motivation, like at like 2 in the morning, like I want to clean my room, I want to make my teeth white. I'm gonna brush my teeth. I'm gonna floss. I'm gonna do all this. I'm gonna wash my face. I'm gonna apply this to my face. I need that salicylic acid on my face. Like, dang, that helps my pores. But and I have those like all the time, like before I go to bed, and I know that people do too.
Before we continue, this episode is brought to you by Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or even your computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard everywhere like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so many more platforms. Plus, you can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. That means if there's only one person listening, you're still making money. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So, what are you waiting for? Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Really quick, we just want to thank Chris and our old teacher, Mrs. Torres, for supporting us with their monthly donations.
We really, really appreciate your donations and your support. So, if anyone out there really wants to donate to us as well, you definitely can find the link under our YouTube video, or you can go to anchor.fm/paths dash podcast and click on the support button and make your monthly donations there. Again, thank you guys so much.
Thank you. This episode is not sponsored by Champion. Champion sponsor us. Just that mindset, like just like we were saying, is like huge to life in general.
And I also think that for our generation, that I think it's a generational problem and problems with mental health because your mental health is definitely gonna affect the way you work, your motivation, your encouragement to do things, 100%. And I feel like a lot of us have been put down by like people just because we're from this generation, like, oh, your generation sucks and your generation is this and your generation is that. But our generation is made up of a lot of, smart people. I mean, our
Big
generation,
thinkers.
yeah, our generation found a way to make 60-second videos on a TikTok and become millionaires. Like, you know, like,
There's 16-year-old millionaires. How is this
right.
sad?
So, I mean, our generation isn't dumb. And I feel like we've all been conditioned to think that we're all just like useless. And I think that does play a big part. Maybe family, maybe
Yeah,
family
no.
ties
Yeah,
too.
I think a big thing is seeing these big creators, these celebrities that are becoming big from nothing, basically, just like these 60-second videos, right? And then just thinking like, dang, I really can't do that. I'm not getting this many views, or like views and likes are like that's like people's like people
Hmm.
take that to heart. They're thinking like, oh, this person's so big, I could be like that person, and then they have huge expectations. Then when they start trying to chase that, and they're realizing I have to go to school, I gotta do work, I'm gonna do 9 to 5, and I think family does play a big role.
And they have, for the majority of the part, they have the best intentions, like they want us to have
Yeah,
a stable job, they want us to be successful. And so we can't be mad at them for that. But sometimes, for example, uh, in my family, something that always held me back from starting a YouTube channel, from content creating or putting music out, And I'm not gonna lie, like, was the fear and embarrassment of how my family was gonna react, you know.
Mhm.
And I mean, I was just thinking about like when I created my channel in 2017, I would be filming certain things, but I would have to film them like secretly because I'm like, oh my god, how's my mom gonna react?
Oh
How's my
yeah,
brother
me
gonna
too.
react?
Yeah, yeah,
Or like my cousins, or like, and that definitely holds you back as well, because I feel like they look at it as a joke, right? Um,
yeah,
so that embarrassment kind of falls in.
yeah,
And even
yeah.
now with this podcast, like I just told my mom that we were doing it. I think during
Me
the
too.
first episode, during the
Yeah, me
first episode,
too.
and her reaction, I did not expect her reaction of like, "Oh wow, like that's cool," like I think that's gonna take off.
Exactly. Yeah, and like there is belief. I feel like, and to get over that embarrassment, I feel like you really have to want to do it to the point where you own up to own up to these things because like you want to own up to it because you're gonna want to do it, you're gonna want to tell people about it and stuff. And I was surprised at my uncle and my mom's reaction the other day. He brought it up actually, and he was like, oh, I saw that you're doing a podcast. And like I was embarrassed because I was like, well, we haven't even put any episodes out, like we don't like or we only have one episode out, and we don't have that much like followers yet and stuff like that. And I was thinking about that when he was talking about it. But then he was like, the next words out of his mouth were, "Oh, congratulations! Like, and you're a co-host too. Like, that's great, you know." And my mom, like, when I explained it more to her, she was like, "Wow, I feel like." When I explained the purpose to her, she was like, "Wow, that's actually great that you want to do that. Like, you're making a podcast to help young adults." And my uncle was like super proud of it too. And I was just like, "Wow, you know." uh and it's just like, yeah, like I'm doing that podcast, like I am a co-host, like, and I am proud of it, like, and I really want to do it. And it's just like it feels great, like when you like get
It
over
was
that
great.
embarrassment.
Yeah, and they embrace it because like it's like I really want to do this, but you have that fear of like your parents being like, like no, that's gonna be like they don't want you to. And then that kind of like just
Yeah,
like you don't want to do it anymore. But when they
yeah,
embrace it and they're like, "Oh wow, like that's great." Like I remember, I don't know, now that I think back on it, I don't know why I was so maybe embarrassed to start off. Maybe the
yeah, me
friends thing,
either.
um because when I think about it, anytime in school when we would do the radio show, like we would have a radio show in school for my music major. Anytime I was in an episode, even if it was like for 1 minute, I remember like my mom watching it, the whole thing, sharing it to, and I would tell her like, don't share it to anyone, please. She'd be like, I won't, and she would share it to my uncle, my aunt, my grandma, my grandpa. My family in Peru was watching these videos, So I like in some sense I feel like maybe the teenage like thinking or whatever that like our parents aren't gonna approve or whatever, but
Yeah.
she really always
Mhm.
had like my back and was always supportive, and I didn't take advantage, I feel like, of that.
Parents, and when they see that you're passionate about something and that you really enjoy something, they should be like, they would be, I mean, I would hope so, that they will be happy for you. Sorry. Ooh, that they'll be happy for you. I hit it. And like if any of you guys out there are embarrassed to chase something that you really want to do, you should just chase it. And you shouldn't worry about your parents or whoever judging you on it, you know? And that just comes to like just being yourself. That goes back to what we were talking about in the first episode of like just being yourself. And like really, if you're really passionate about something, I feel like you should just go for it. And like don't have that
Mhm.
expectations, and like show them the accomplishments that you made when you, or like if they find out about it, like really show them how passionate you are. You know, like any young drawers out there, or any young musicians out there,
Musicians,
like,
well,
yeah, bro. Boo, oh, I was ahead of you there. But yeah, any young musicians, artists, like just create, you know, like, or any young, like, even if you want to do like accounting, or like coding, or you
yeah,
know,
because I
just
know
like
people who like
if
to
you're really
read,
passionate about
like,
something, like, yeah, like if you like to write, like write, like do what you want to do, like And like again, that goes back to like self-care. Like do what makes you happy. Don't do what
Mm.
other people expect you to do or want you to do. You know, parents do have like a big impact in it because like that's who you look up to. And when they tell you don't do that, then oh, I shouldn't do that. You know, and I felt that way too. Like growing up, it's like my mom was like, "Why are you wasting your time playing video games, recording these videos, blah blah." And like my cousin even says it now. He's like, "Well, your videos don't even get a lot of views." You know, and it's like people aren't even watching it, and then like that hurts a little bit, just a little bit. But then it's like, well, then I explained to him like I like doing it. You know, like we play the games anyway. Might as well just like make something out of it, like for even for memories. You know, like I love doing it, so like why not? You know, and that's why yeah, like parents do have a big impact on that. But like I think you should just do what makes you happy, and you should explain that to them, and if they should feel bad about it if they don't like if they're
If
stopping
they
you
don't
from doing
support
something
you,
that makes you
yeah.
happy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's also siblings or whoever you're close to because, if you're an only child, maybe a cousin, because I don't know, you're an only child, but as a child of four, as one of four, a lot of the things that I wanted to do, I was like, oh, my brother's gonna make fun of me if I did that. Like, he's
Yeah,
gonna make fun of me for posting a YouTube video. He's gonna make fun of me because I used to walk around with a camera all the time. I love photography and videography, and I used to try and record and film everything and be like, "Oh, that's stupid. Like, you look stupid," And I'd be like, I'd laugh, but like really, that would be like, okay, so I'm not gonna do it
it
anymore.
would really hurt.
But
Yeah,
like, yeah, like not like hurt, like I was gonna go cry
yeah,
about
I
it,
know what you mean. Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
no, just hurt
now,
like
I don't want to do it. Yeah, like.
yeah, it discourages you.
But my sister, she loves content creating. She loves editing videos. So I talked to her about all my TikToks, and she's the one who put me on TikTok. She was the one who would plan my TikToks in the beginning. Like, so definitely, I feel like siblings and friendships, people who you're close to, also people like don't. And this is like a message for everyone. Like, don't let that limit you to what you do. Like Joseph was saying, because at the end of the day, if they really like love and support, then they're going to support you, right? If they love you, they're going to support you. And it's better for them to love you for who you are than love you for, whoever you're hiding, whoever you're hiding and not wanting to be, pretending to be, you know? Um, so film, write, read, I don't know, whatever
Create,
Joseph said,
draw.
create. it's
Yeah,
it's nothing to be embarrassed
practice,
about.
code.
Yeah, if you like it, then why would you be embarrassed of it? And that's something that we all have to get into our minds, because I feel like everyone's always embarrassed of what they like. The majority of people, sorry, not everyone, the majority of people. Just if you like it, don't be embarrassed. Try it out. If you see that after you try it out, you don't like it anymore, you don't have to do it. You're not forced to do anything. And I feel like that's maybe where the regret starts to form, when you don't do something because of the fear you have. And then you're looking down 5 years later, like I am now in 2017. Why didn't I film? Why didn't I film in high school? I feel like
Exactly.
I would have had so
Fear.
much fun.
Yeah, fear turns into regret in the future.
Right.
100%. Fear turns into regret in the future. And to anyone out there whose friends don't support you, and yeah, I got a point because it's a big message. If anybody out there has friends who don't them, support you in anything that you do, but like sometimes you want them to be real with you, like give you some constructive criticism. But if they downright just degrade you and discourage your
Or your
talk down on your
wants.
achievement, yeah, like your wants and your goals and what you want to do in life, you should not be scared to tell your friends these goals just because you feel like you're gonna be embarrassed about it. Then like you should find some new
I
friends.
used to be, yeah. You should find some, or you just have the wrong idea, because I used to be like that with my friends, where I made music and I didn't want anyone to hear, or
Yeah, me too.
um,
Or not music, but
or
mhm,
I made videos and I didn't want anyone to watch. And when I started letting them know, like slowly, like, oh, I like content creating and I like videos and I like editing, they're like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, I like that too. like we should make a video, like we should make this music video, we should make this. And I'm like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
that just takes the pressure off, and you're like, okay, you know, you're your friends for a reason, I feel like, and you're gonna have things in common. So maybe they like
Yeah.
it too. And maybe it's just your fear of them disapproving that's holding you back. But you just tell them, like, don't be embarrassed. You can't be embarrassed of something you didn't do yet, right? So
Yeah,
do it.
definitely.
Do it. And
And
like
your friends
Joseph
are a
said, you're
reflection of you too.
exactly. Yeah. If your friends aren't supporting something that you really want to do and really like, you should consider looking into newer friendships. 'Cause that
Or
unless
just communicate. Don't just drop them.
yeah,
Just communicate to
communicate.
them like, yeah, exactly. You
Like
should
that
say
hurt my
that.
feelings. Yeah, that hurt
That's
my
big too.
feelings. I like doing that. Why do you think maybe they're worried and they want to give you constructive criticism, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, they you should let them know like I want your support. You're my friend, if they're not supporting you. And hey, that hurts my feelings. You know?
Yeah. And you shouldn't have friends that are like fake supportive too.
Ugh, the
Like they
worst.
want you to fail, but they're like, yeah, do it. Like they
Yeah.
want to see you trip and fall, And like just
The
beware.
worst.
But with that, we hope that you took away a lot from this episode and took away a lot of lessons. We dropped some knowledge this episode, a lot of knowledge, and we hope that you guys caught it. And but with that, I think we're good, right? So
Yeah.
that is it. That is the end of episode 2 of
Dude.
the Paths podcast. Thank you for watching. Um, John, you explained the social stuff.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching again, episode 2. Like Joseph said, I hope you guys were able to take away those lessons. Be yourself, find your passion, don't be embarrassed, be happy. Make sure to
So
subscribe.
much more too.
Yeah, so much more. Just make sure you
So
watch.
much more. Too much to say. Too much to
Yeah.
recap.
Make sure you guys subscribe, like the video, comment down below, what your passion is or questions you might have about how you can find your passion. We'll try to, answer them. Make sure you follow us on all our social media. We'll be active on there too. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We'll be posting things, trying to catch up with you guys on a daily basis. So make sure you subscribe, comment, follow us. Everything will be linked in the description below. And yeah, just reach out to us. We like talking to you guys. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
thanks
listen
for
on
tuning in.
Spotify and Apple Podcasts too.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Listen,
Thank you for
listen.
listening. Episode
And
2
share.
done.
Go too. Let's go. Peace out. 2's
Episode
done.
2 done.
Yeah.